knight f3 by Wesley. c5, everything standard up to this point. b2, b3. Now the Larsen, Queenside that's really Nakamura's page book.
Or a blitz opening.
For the blitz openings. Yeah. To see b2, b3 in the classical tournaments, that's quite surprising. However, in the particular case of MVL, as we know, loves to play the Grunfeld, which involves knight f6, g6, and d5. So this move b2, b3, looking to play bishop b2, posting the bishop on the long diagonal, and somewhat discouraging g6. Maybe it makes sense for this particular opponent, but certainly a surprise. Christian, over to you.
No, absolutely. And b3 is something that I have studied quite deeply.
No!
In the last couple of months, I've been training for my own tournaments, and I've been studying b3 at move number 1. But yes, this knight f3, c5, and then b3. Obviously, I will play the move. Probably d5 is going to come on the board, bishop to b2, some sort of knight c6. And then, going forward, I think what we will see is a move such as c4 or e3, preparing the move c4. And then we're going to get some sort of Benoni structures. This is a very possible outcome. In general, white is doing quite well, and the positions are very, very dynamic. Nevertheless, black, if he manages to consolidate the center, get his pieces out, he will have the space advantage. But let's remember, this is a less analyzed position, so it's a very good surprise for round number 1 from Wesley, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to try to avoid the Grunfeld. I mean, even the English
move orders, yes.
Yeah, some of them avoid it. But e3, it really is interesting, because the first thing I thought also was about how Nakamura actually just said in the post-game interview at the Showdown that e3 is a better move in bullet than e4.
Intriguing. Yeah, and bullet is 1 minute. I remember I was playing against Tony Miles, and in those days, Tony Miles loved to play b7, b6 on move 1 as black, against either e4 or d4, and I chose on my opening move g2, g3, just to discourage his b7, b6. Tony leaned across the board, and he says for black is to go e5. Take full control over the center as soon as possible, and after, my board is bishop e2, and then bishop e2, knight c6, and I think there are a couple of principal moves in this position. One of them is e3, which has been played many times by top players. I played it a few times, and after knight f6, this move, bishop e5, immediately challenging the center, the knight on c6, defending the pawn on e5. But recent developments have seen this very intriguing move, e4, immediately grabbing space in the center, trying to inhibit white's pieces on the king side. Also, after d5, bishop d6, this diagonal is going to become very dangerous in case white decides to castle short. So I think this move e4, in my opinion, refutes this variation. And there are a lot of other sidelines that I'm not going to mention because they're my preparation, so I don't want to give it away, at least not yet. If we see it in an actual game, then maybe I will disclose it. But yes, the main idea behind this move, knight to f3, is against e5.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, Christian, because sometimes when I see my students' games and moves like b3 or London and things like that, they seem to perform really poorly because they don't get enough active play.
Right.
Especially, I find that if somebody plays like a dark square opening, like a King's Indian or a Grunfeld, that sometimes they can't figure out how to get active play after a move like knight f3, b3, bishop b2, that they just end up like with their pawns on knight squares and they can't figure out how to make it exciting.
Right.
So how would you advise players like that?
Take up e4. Take up e4. No, it's tough. I mean, especially...
that's black.
Exactly. A lot of these flank openings where the centers sometimes get locked, it's very hard to get the kind of open free play that the students really probably enjoy.
And Maxime.
And Maxime
Also,
enjoys as well.
Nidorf, Grunfeld, all the sharpest openings.
Right.
We're going to take a look and see how he reacts to this.
Just take a look at quickly the Michael Magnificent from the 10th or 11th century, who had composed this chess problem. And it had a 28-move solution, but it was played according to the Chaturanga rules. And it was really impressive. Alsuli the Magnificent. I loved it.
I know you love chess variants, so I figured you might have gotten to get in some games of Chaturanga in between your Crazy House.
Yeah, there you go.
I saw you playing Crazy House on the Chess Pod channel.
Right, exactly.
Can I?
No, I can't. I love it, in fact. I'll challenge the viewers to what they think. I noticed that Malcolm Payne introduced MPL as the greatest French chess player that France produced. Is that true when you think about Le Bourdonnais?
All right, well, the chess history buffs,
So
you're...
get your chess history caps on and see if Malcolm was right.
Yeah, seriously, chess history is so great. That's one of the wonderful things about playing this game, just knowing the continuity that you're looking at the same game.
Victor Korchnoi is just an inspiration as well. So those are really my two all-time greats.
Well, I am a huge fan of women in chess. I like to see more women coming into the game. So really the trailblazers for me, Vera Menchik,
Yes.
who died far too young.
Yes.
And she died at the age of like 38 or 39. And she was amazing. She was playing in these elite grandmaster round robin tournaments. She was the only woman.
Right.
And this was a far considered normal for women to be pursuing chess.
Exactly. She died in the London
London Blitz.
bombing raid. Yeah.
So of course this is an appropriate time to give a shout out to her as the
Yes.
London Chess Classic is underway. And then there was a contemporary of her, Sonia Graf, who was not quite as strong, but
You mentioned her at the induction at the World Chess Hall of Fame.
yes.
Yeah, she sounded like an extraordinary lady.
She sounded like
maybe
somebody you'd want to party with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Maybe 90 years ahead of her time is the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
it sound.
Yeah, she liked
Pretty
to.
impressive.
She really liked to go out and enjoy life, and she saw chess as a vehicle for art, for writing and just living a romantic life. And of course, all that leading up to players like the Polgar sisters, Judith, who became the strongest woman in history,
Right.
and who recently wrote these 3-volume set of books, which are phenomenal, very inspiring.
Absolutely, really, really good. And the great Georgian women's players from Nona Kapardashvili, Maya Chibernets, so many great Georgian women players. I have this wonderful story, by the way, of Judith that I'm going to share in the rest of the world match. But first we're going to turn to Christian and get his favorite chess players of all time.
Well, to my shame, I haven't studied as much chess culture and chess classics, so it's very, very difficult for me to relate to one of the guys from the past, like Hikaru and so on. But currently, I just enjoy Carlsen. I think he brings a new dimension to the game. He just brings a